DC motor, the functions of commutator and brushes are replaced by solid state switches. The PMBL motor, it is simply called brushless DC motor. The rotor has permanent magnet. Stator has armature winding. That is, the permanent magnet rotates and the armature remains static. In PMBL, the functions of commutator and brushes are replaced by solid state switches. Hence, it is the maintenance free. It performs same power distribution found in a normal DC motor, but using a solid state circuits. So this is the presentation outline. That is, we are going to discuss the salient features of the PMBL DC motor, comparison with the conventional motor, constructional details, merits and demerits, applications, working operation, mechanical commutation and electronic commutation, rotor position sensor, types of PMBL DC motors, control circuit, then EMF equation, thereby torque equation. The comparison of conventional motor with the PMBL DC motors. That is, as we said earlier, the commutator and the brushes are present in the conventional DC motor. Hence, a frequent maintenance is required. So, high maintenance, it is required in the case of conventional DC motors. Whereas, here solid state electronic circuits are used. Therefore, maintenance free and low maintenance. For commutation method, for the conventional DC motors, we are having mechanical contact. Whereas, PMBL DC motors, the electronic switching using power semiconductor devices. Example, thyristors, MOSFETs, transistors, etc. The deduction method, here automatically deducted using brushes in the case of conventional DC motors. Whereas PMBL DC motor, rotor position sensor, it is used, and this deducted using sensors, example, Hall sensor or optical sensors. For controllable, the speed control, it is difficult in the case of conventional motor, whereas here solid state switches are used. Hence, speed can be controlled easily in the case of PMBL DC motor, and even we can able to achieve high speeds. This diagram shows the conventional DC motor, the cross-sectional view, and the PMBL DC motor. As we know well, conventional DC motor consists of commutator, brushes, and field coil, armature windings. Whereas PMBL DC motor, they are having electronic switches, that is permanent magnet in the rotor, and stator windings and ball bearings, shaft, all these. That is a Hall effect sensor, also it is attached in the rotor. The constructional details. The PMBL motor consists of two parts, mainly stator and rotor. The stator is made of silicon steel stampings with slots in its interior surface. These stator slots accommodated armature winding. The windings is wounded with specific number of poles. Normally, even number of poles are placed. The winding is connected to a DC supply through a power electronic switching circuits. The rotor has permanent magnet. Normally, the number of poles in the rotor is same as that of the stator. The rotor shaft carries a rotor position sensor. This position sensor gives the information about the position of the shaft. Also, this position sensor gives the signal to the electronic commutators. And here we can able to see the stator, which is having a slots, and this is the rotor having the permanent magnets. This is the sectional view of the PMBL DC motor, the stator assembly. Here we can able to see the stator stampings with the slots, and here the armature winding, it is placed in the stator, and this terminals are brought out for the external connection, that is the DC supply, DC connections, it is brought out. The merits of PMBL DC motor. There is no field winding, therefore no field copper loss, and the length of the commutator, that is there is no mechanical commutator. As a result, the length of the machine also less, as size of the motor becomes very, very small, and better ventilation because the armature conductors are placed in the stator, and a power generator, that is whatever the heat is, can be easily dissipated in the atmosphere. Therefore, better ventilation. And this motor is self-starting motor. Speed can be easily controlled and very high speed also possible. We can able to produce a regenerative braking, and efficiency also increases because of no commutator and brushes, and the field copper loss also absence. Therefore, the efficiency of the motor also increases. The demerits, the field control cannot be possible. That is, as we have the conventional motor, two methods of speed control, that is armature control method and flux control method. Whereas here, permanent magnets are used in the rotor. Therefore, the flux control method, that is field control, it is not possible. And power rating also, it is a challengeable because of the high power capability, means we need to provide the high size, that is a large size of the permanent magnets. And rotor position sensor also required. It requires the power electronic switching circuit. So these are all the demerits of the PMBL DC motors. Applications. This PMBL DC motor also used same applications as that of the conventional motor. In addition to that, we can have the automotive applications, textile and industries, computer hardware drives, CD, DVD drives, robotics, electric vehicles, small appliances such as fans, mixers, etc. The starting, that is the working principle of PMBL DC motor. That is, when a DC supply is given to the motor, the armature winding draws a current. The current distribution within the stator of the armature winding depends upon the position of the rotor. Then EMF perpendicular to the permanent magnet field is set up. Then the armature conductor experiences a force. We know well, a current is I ampere applied to the conductor in the magnetic field of uniform flux density B Weber per meter square. Then the length of the conductor is L meters. Then we know well the force is given by F equal to BIL. The same principle here, the armature conductor experiences a force. This force develops a torque in the rotor. As a result, the rotor tends to rotate. When the rotor rotates, means the torque is higher than the oppositional frictional load and the load torque. Thereafter, the motor starts rotating. It is a self-starting motor. Once the motor picks up speed, there exists a relative angular velocity between the permanent magnetic field and the armature conductors. So, according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, an EMF is induced, that is the dynamically induced EMF in the armature conductors. We know well, when a change of flux links the conductor, an EMF induced, that is the Faraday's law. Here, the motor picks up speed, that means the rotor rotates. The rotor consists of permanent magnet. So, the flux changes. So, the change of flux links the armature conductor. As a result, that is EMF is induced in the rotor. Then as per the Lenz's law, that opposes the cause of armature current. Thereby, the current is reduced. So, the current reduces means results in the developed torque also reduces. Since we know well, torque is proportional to current. So, as the current reduces, then torque also reduces. When the torque is equal to the opposing frictional load torque, then the motor attains a steady speed condition. That is the steady state condition. When the load torque is increases, then the rotor speed tends to fall. When the rotor speed reduces, then back EMF generated in the armature also tends to decreases. We know well, EMF is directly proportional to speed. So as the load increases, the speed reduces. So back EMF also reduces. If the back EMF reduced, then the current drawn from the main increases. Since when you are maintaining the constant current, that is the DC supply is constant, then as the EMF reduce, to counterbalance, automatically the current has to increase. So as a result, the current increases. As the current increase means, again the torque developed also increases. So now the motor will attain a new equilibrium position when the developed torque is equal to the new torque. Power drawn from the supply means we know well power is V into I. This power is equal to whatever the mechanical power developed and whatever the losses that are occurring in the motor. So the mechanical power developed, PM, is omega into T, where omega is the angular velocity, T is the torque developed. This diagram shows the cross-sectional of that is the rotor magnet cross sections. So the first case, the circular core with magnets are placed in the outer surface of the rotor core. For the second case, the rotor is again here also a circular core with the rectangular magnets, which is embedded in the rotor core itself. On the third case, here also a circular core with the rectangular magnets. These magnets are inserted in the rotor core. The mechanical commutation and the electronic commutation. We know well the mechanical commutator that is made up of specially designed commutator segments, and it is made of copper, and these segments are insulated from each other by a thin layer of mica. It forms a cylindrical shape. Here we are showing a commutator having a 12 commutator segments, namely from 1 to 12, and attached in the two brushes, X and Y are the two brushes, and these brushes are connected to the supply, DC supply. Now, when a DC supply is connected across the brush A and B to the positive and the negative supply, so the current passes through the tappings cross section, that is the commutator segment 1 and the commutator segment 7 to the positive and the negative supply through the brushes A and B. There are two parallel paths in the current, that is from the supply positive, then commutator segment A, then commutator segments 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and B of the brush. This is one path, and other path is the brush contact A, commutator segments 1, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7 and again to the brush B. So this is two parallel paths. Now, when the commutator rotates just anti-clockwise direction, now the new position comes the contact brush A and B respectively, the commutator segments 2 and 8. Again, there are two parallel paths. Current from the A, commutator segments 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Again to brush B. That is one path. And other path is brush A, commutator segment 2, 1, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8 and B. So this may be the new position. Like this, at every position, the commutator taking place. That is the function of commutator and brush arrangement is to set up an armature MMF whose axis is always in quadrature with the main field MMF, irrespective of the speed of the rotor of the motor. This is the electronic commutator. Here, which consists of 12 switches, that is S1 to S12 for the armature winding. This is the armature winding. The 12 switches are connected to the positive of the supply, and S1 dash to S12 dash. These are the 12 switches connected to the negative of the supply. So the armature winding, when the switch 1 and 1 dash is closed, suppose the switch 1 and 1 dash is closed, then through the supply positive, switch 1, armature winding, say the terminal 1, here the terminal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, again through the switch S1 dash to the negative supply. This is one path, and another path is segment 1, switch 1, say the terminal 1, that is 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7 and through S1 dash to the negative. Like that, there are two parallel paths. Here, these switches are replaced by solid state switches. So this is the switching circuit for the electronic commutator. The manual switches are replaced by that is a solid state switches, and to the positive supply and to the negative supply. And here we are going to place the armature winding. Thus, the armature winding is connected through the solid state switches to the supply. It is called the electronic commutator. So sparkless operation we are able to get. Now the current passes through the tappings 2 and 8. Suppose the current passes through the tappings 2 and 8. So again, all this what we explained the earlier the previous diagram, same manner the current will be distributed. So thus the operating switches in the sequential manner, we are getting a revolving magnetic field. For normal electronic commutator, we are having 6 switching devices. Here the windings may be either star connection or in the delta connection. Therefore, the winding should have the 3 tappings. Here you can be able to see the stator having 3 windings A, B, C, and having the 3 terminals connected to the solid state switches, which is having 6 switches. Here you can be able to see this is the star connected armature winding. Similarly, for the delta connected armature winding, whether the stator is star connection or delta connection, we can be able to control through 6 switches. And the rotor having permanent magnet, which the rotor contains rotor position sensor. This sensor only giving the signal to the various switching devices when we want to turn on or turn off. The comparison between mechanical commutator and electronic commutator. The commutator is made of segments and mica insulation. Brushes are of carbon or graphite. This is in the case of mechanical commutator. Whereas in the electronic commutator, power electronic switching devices are used in the commutator. And commutator arrangements are located in the rotor in the case of mechanical commutator. Whereas electronic commutator, it is located in the stator. Again, for mechanical commutator, the shaft position sensing is inherent arrangement. Whereas electronic commutator, the stator position sensor is required. And here number of commutator segments are very high in the case of mechanical commutator. Whereas electronic commutator, number of switching devices is limited 6, as we explained the previous diagram. Here the mechanical commutator is highly reliable, whereas electronic commutator, the reliability is improved by specially designing the devices and the protective circuits. Again, mechanical commutator, it is difficult to control the voltage available across the tappings. Whereas electronic commutator, the voltage available across the armature tappings can be controlled by employing PWM techniques, pulse width modulated techniques. Interpoles windings are employed to reduce the sparkless commutation. That is in the case of mechanical commutator. Whereas the electronic commutator is suitable to operating with the switching devices. So better performance can be achieved. Mechanical commutator, sliding contact between commutator and brushes. Here no sliding contacts. Sparking taking place. So frequent maintenance also required in the case of mechanical commutator. Whereas electronic commutator, no sparking, so it requires less maintenance. As we discussed earlier, the rotor position sensor is required in the case of PMBL DC motor. And the rotor position sensor gives the information about the shaft position, that is the rotor shaft position. It is suitable for electrical signal to the switches to be turn on or turn off for the various semiconductor devices. The rotor position sensor, there's two types. One is the method of detecting the rotor position using sensors, that is explicit position sensor. The method of detecting rotor position using sensorless detection, that is implicit sensors. There, the methods of detecting rotor using position sensor, there are two types further, that is optical position sensor and Hall effect position sensors. Now we are going to discuss the optical position sensor and Hall effect position sensors. The optical position sensor, that is, it makes use of 6 phototransistors. These are the 6 phototransistors which are displaced at 160 degree mutually. These phototransistors are fixed at end shield cover of the motor. These transistors are excited by a suitable light source. When the light source pass on to this phototransistor, these transistors are excited. That is, that gives a signal to the particular transistor, that is semiconductor switches, to be turned on or to be turned off. This shaft carries a circular aluminum disc. So this is the disc. So this disc rotates along with the shaft of the motor. This disc prevents the light rays falls onto this phototransistors. The suitable slots are punched in the disc. At any time, only 2 light rays only falls onto this that is phototransistors. These devices are turned on state. Suitable turns the 2 main switches by the electronic commutating circuit into on state. As the shaft rotates, these devices of electronic commutator which are turned into on state. The switches on at any time depending upon the rotor position sensor. Here we are giving the status of the switching on state for the phototransistors for clockwise direction rotation as well as for counterclockwise direction. Here the Hall effect position sensor. Consider this Hall effect position sensor having a 2-pole machine which is explained. That is, stator is having 2 windings, W1 and W2. So these are the 2 windings that is placed in the rotor, which are 180 degree electrical apart. Yeah. These switches are connected to the supply through the switch S1 and S2. This S1 is closed. That means the winding 1 is get connected to the supply, and the winding 1 produces a north pole flux in the air gap. Similarly, when the switch S2 is closed, then the winding 2 is connected to the supply. Then the winding 2 produces a north pole flux in the air gap. The Hall effect position sensor under the influence of north pole of the rotor. It makes to operate when the Hall effect position sensor is under the influence of north pole of the rotor. Then this gives the signal to the switch S1 to be closed. When the switch S1 is closed means the winding W1 is energized and it sets up a north pole flux in the air gap. Automatically, the motor experiences a torque and the south pole of the rotor attracts and the rotor rotates and aligned with the stator axis. Because of the inertia and overshoots, the rotor, hence the rotor rotates clockwise direction. Now, the Hall effect position sensor is under the influence of south pole of the rotor. Hence, a Hall EMF is induced and the polarity also changes. This makes the switch S1 to open and the switch S2 to be closed. When the switch S2 is closed, means that produces a north pole flux in the winding W2. As a result, the south pole of the rotor again attracts and the rotor rotates again clockwise direction. This process continues. As a result, the rotor rotates continuously. This is the rotor position sensor for the PMBL motor. And here we have Hall sensor assembly. Here the Hall effect sensor is placed in the rotor permanent magnet. So this is the sectional view for the Hall sensor assembly. And this is the optical sensor assembly. This one. Here the optical encoder. Next, the types of PMBL DC motors. The PMBL DC motor classified the basis of number of phase windings and the number of pulses given to the devices during each cycle. Accordingly, there are 5 types. One is the one phase winding with the one pulse BLDC motor, one phase winding with the two pulse PMBL-DC motor, two phase winding and two pulse BL-DC motor, three phase winding and three pulse motor. Similarly, three phase winding and six pulse BL PM motor. This circuit shows one phase winding with one pulse PMBL motor. Here the motor contains only one phase winding and having one semiconductor switch. Here the transistor it is used and having one Hall effect position sensor. When this Hall effect position sensor is giving the signal, that is a turn on, under the influence of north pole flux, this is transistor T1 is a turn on. Then the winding is connected to the supply. The winding is excited. When this position sensor is under the influence of north pole flux, then this transistor is turned off. The winding is disconnected from the supply. Thus, this Hall effect position sensor gives the signal to the base of the drive so that this transistor make it turn on or turn off. And this waveform shows the current and the torque waveform when the switches are turn on and turned off. And the merits, it contains only one transistor and one phase winding. It is sufficient. The inertia should be such that the motor is rotating unidirectional, and the utilization of the transistor and windings are less than 50%. This is one phase winding, two pulse PMBL DC motor. Here we are having 3-wire DC supply and having only one phase winding and two semiconductor switches. And this also similar to that of a one phase control, which is having only one Hall effect position sensor. When the position sensor is under the influence of north pole flux, then the transistor 1 is turned on. When the position sensor is under the influence of south pole flux, then the T2 switch T2 is turned on. The first case, when T1 is turned on, the current passes through the winding from A to B, whereas the second case, when T2 is turned on, the current flows through from B to A. The polarity of the flux set up by the winding gets altered depending upon the position of the rotor. This provides unidirectional torque. The merits, the winding utilization is better, torque developed also more or less uniform. The demerits, the transistor utilization is less, and this circuit requires a 3-wire DC supply. Two-phase winding and two-pulse PM BL DC motor. Here there are two winding W1 and W2 marked as a two winding which are displaced at 180-degree electrical, which makes use of two semiconductor switches. This performs same type similar to one phase two pulse PMDL motor, which is having independent control and which requires two position sensors. And torque developed is uniform. This is the merits of the two-phase winding and two-pulse PMBL DC motor. Demerits, their utilization of the transistors and the windings are less. Cables with the rotor position sensor should be made properly. And this gives the torque waveform for the PMBL DC motor, two-phase winding and two-pulse. The first one is the torque for the T1 for the switch S1 is closed, and the second one is torque produced due to the switch 2 is closed, and the combined effect of 1 and 2 we are getting the continuous rotation, and here we are getting uniform rotation. Three-phase winding and three-pulse BL DC motor, which contain three-phase windings. Each windings are displaced by 120-degree electrical. Each phase windings is controlled by a semiconductor switch, which is operated depending upon the position of the rotor, and three position sensors are required for this purpose. This is similar to that of one phase winding and one pulse. Similarly, we are having three phase winding and three pulse, and three position sensors are required. And merits are better torque waveform, and demerits less utilization of the device and the windings. The cables with the rotor position sensor should be made properly. The three-phase winding and the six-pulse BL DC motor. Here the three-phase windings are displaced at 120-degree electrical. The phase windings are controlled by 6 semiconductor switching devices. So this is the maximum control. 6 semiconductor switches, which are operated depending upon the position of the rotor. Here we required 6 position sensors to control each of the switches. Usually 120-degree mode or 180-degree mode of conduction is adopted. This circuit produces unidirectional torque in all the three-phase windings. Merits: better utilization of the winding, torque and current ripples components are less. The demerits: less utilization of the devices and 6 position sensors are required. This is the controller circuit for a BLDC motor, which contains a logical commutation circuits, and here the three-phase windings ABC, and these windings are connected to the 6 switches, that is, and these switches are getting signal from the commutator logic circuits. This commutator logic circuits getting signal from the rotor position sensor. This sensor is attached in the shaft of the rotor. This is the rotor permanent magnet, and this phase windings are represented the stator winding. This commutation logic circuits getting signal from the rotor position sensor, and this output is totally 6 outputs are taken. Out of 6, the 3 signals are connected directly to the upper switches. That is, the switch base of the drive is connected to the logical commutation circuits, and the remaining 3 signals are connected to the AND gates. This is one input of the AND gate is connected to the commutation logic circuits, and another input to the AND gates directly taken from the monostable circuit. This getting signals from the high pulse PWM oscillator, that is pulse with modulator signal. Here the high frequency pulse is generated, and this gives the monostable circuits. This monostable circuit output is connected to the one end of the one input to the AND gates. When both the inputs are high, then the AND gates will be operating. the output of the AND gate is connected directly to the lower devices. So this is 6 switches. The out of 6, the upper switches are getting signal directly to the commutator logic circuits, and the lower switches are connected to the AND gates. The output of the AND gate is connected to the base of the lower switches. Here there are 2 loops. One is the outer is the speed loop, and this is the current loop. Here the comparator 1, that is the speed comparator, that compares the reference speed and the actual speed from the tacho generator, and this is given to the comparator. The output of the comparator that produces the current signal that gives the reference to the current comparator. This current comparator compares this speed current signal and as well as the actual current sensed by the current sensor, and this output of the current comparator gives the monostable circuit. So this provides a unidirectional operation. The duty cycle of the output of the monostable is controlled by the error signal. This output signal influences the conduction period and the duty cycle of the lower switches of the devices. So thus this entire control, that is the 6 switches, are controlled by using a logical circuits. The EMF equation of the PMBL DC motor. We know well the basic EMF equation of the PMBL DC motor is quite simple and resemble of the conventional DC motor. Let us assume the B of theta, that is flux density variable with the theta, and BG, the constant flux density in the angle, and psi 1, the flux linkages of the coil 1, and the flux linkage is given by N1 and pi 1, where N1 is the number of turns in the winding and pi 1 is the flux, where L is the length of the armature, R1 is the radius of the magnetic path, then omega is the angular velocity in mechanical radians per second. And this diagram gives the permanent magnet BL square wave DC motor. And this permanent magnet, north pole and south pole, when a current is passing to the winding, then the rotor sets up a torque. That torque tends to rotate the rotor. And this waveform gives the flux density distribution. And this is the flux linkages. The rate of change of flux is the EMF induced. Consider the case when the axis of the permanent magnet rotor along the x-axis, that is when the position at 1, the theta equal to 0. At this condition, we are having the flux psi 1 is maximum. This value is maximum. That is the flux linkage is maximum. That is the change of flux is minimum. Rate of change of flux is minimum. The psi 1 is maximum. So from 0 to 180 degree, the EMF induced is given by E equal to minus d psi by d theta. By integrating the flux density B of theta around the air gap, we get the maximum flux linkage in the coil. That is psi 1 maximum equal to N1 pi 1 maximum. This pi 1, that is flux, that can be calculated. That is easily we can take from this basic formula, that is flux density equal to flux by area. So from this flux equal to flux density into area. Here R1 is the radius and L is the length. So the radius into multiply with the length, that is the area. This area multiply with the flux density is the flux. Therefore, this equation we can write psi 1 max equal to N1 instead of pi 1, that is integral 0 to pi B of theta d of theta R1 into L. That is the B of theta is BG. So B N1 BG R1 L into 0 to pi d theta. Therefore N1 BG R1 L, here for integration of d theta, theta and limits are 0 to pi. Therefore we can get psi 1 max equal to N1 BG R1 L and pi. So this we are taking the equation 1. From the equation, that is from the slope, we can say the M and N is slope passing through the origin. Then we can say the slope, the equation of the line is y equal to mx plus c. where m is the slope and c is the constant. So m in the y axis, we can have this is psi 1 max, whereas x axis is the theta. So that here we can say y, that is psi 1 max, and x is equal to theta. So these are the x and y axis. So to find the slope, we can substitute the value c equal to 0. Therefore, y equal to mx, or we can say m equal to y by x, that is equal to minus y by x. This minus sign indicates the slope is decreasing. Therefore, in the place of y, we will substitute the value minus psi 1 max, and x is by pi by 2. This is 90 degree. We are taking from here to here, that is 90 degree. Therefore, m equal to minus 2 psi 1 max by pi. For finding the value of m, we substitute, that is put m, to find the constant value, put m equal to 0. Therefore, y equal to c. Therefore, c is psi 1 max. From the equation 2, y equal to mx plus c, if you substitute those values, that is psi 1 equal to 2 times minus 2 psi 1 max by pi into theta plus psi 1 max. Therefore, psi 1 of theta equal to, if you are taking common, that is a psi 1 max into this value 1 minus 2 by pi, 2 theta by pi. So this is substitute in the equation 1. Therefore, psi 1 of theta equal to the psi 1 max value that found from the equation 1, that is n1 bg r1 l into pi into the same value 1 minus 2 theta by pi. Also, we know well em of induced E equal to minus d psi by d theta. Here, just multiply and divided by d theta. So the equation becomes E equal to minus d psi by d theta into d theta by dt. This d theta by dt is omega, that is displacement with respect to time, is the angular velocity omega. Therefore, E equal to minus d psi by d theta into omega. Therefore, E equal to minus omega d psi by d theta. In the place of omega, you substitute the value whatever we obtained in this equation. Therefore, E equal to minus omega d of n1 bg r1 l into pi into 1 minus 2 theta by pi divided by d theta. Therefore, E equal to minus omega. On differentiation, we will get this n1 bg r1 l pi, and here this constant, this value is 0. So here 2 theta by pi, on differentiation we will get 2 by pi. So minus 2 by pi. This minus and minus equal to plus. So E equal to 2 times n1 bg r1 l, this pi omega. Therefore, E phase equal to 2 n phase bg l r1 omega volt. Therefore, E phase equal to 4 n phase. Here n phase equal to 2 times n1. Since one phase winding contains 2 coils, therefore n phase, you can take it as 2 times n1. So this equation becomes E phase is equal to 4 n1 bg l r1 omega volt is the EMF induced in one coil. Therefore, E phase equal to 2 n phase bg l r1 omega volt. For star connected stator winding, 2 phase winding will be connected at any instant. Therefore, EMF induced is equal to EMF for phase 1 and EMF for phase 2, the 2 phase windings. Therefore, this equation multiply with 2. Therefore, E equal to 4 n phase bg l r1 omega volt, or simply saying E equal to k pi omega, where k is this 4 n phase and pi is bg l into r, where bg is the flux density, multiply with this area is the flux, is the EMF equation. For torque equation, we know that power is 2 pi nt by 60, where 2 pi nt by 60 is the omega, that is angular velocity. Therefore, power equal to omega into T. And for the electrical equivalent of power is V into I. Therefore, power equal to 2 into V, voltage applied is equal to voltage induced. Therefore, 2 E phase into I. Since two phase windings will be connected at any instant, therefore we are taking 2. So EMF induced is approximately equal to supply voltage. Therefore, we are getting the power equal to 2 E phase I. The equation 1 and 2. From the equation 1 and 2, we can say omega T equal to 2 E phase into I. Therefore, omega T equal to 2, the E phase value, that is EMF per phase, we are substituting 2 N phase Vg L R1 omega into I. If you are getting, then omega and omega get cancel. Therefore, T, torque equal to 4 N phase Vg L R1 into I. And torque is equal to K pi I. Simply, we are saying where K is equal to 4 N phase and pi is Vg L into R1. So EMF is K pi omega, whereas a torque is K pi I, is the torque equation of the motor. Thank you very much. With this, we are completing this PMBL DC motor. So in this topics, we have discussed the constructional details, comparison of electrical and mechanical commutator and rotor position sensors and applications, advantages, and there are controller circuits, then EMF equation and torque equation. Thank you very much.